Hello, welcome back to Nostalgia Drive. This is episode 10 of my Sayonara Uta playthrough. So we're just about to enter the door now and we'll see what's in here, if we can find any clues to guys, like whereabouts. All of the windows are shut with heavy curtains and the gloom inside is thick and stiffening. Fuminori turns his own flashlight and starts rummaging through the cabin without regard for its owner's privacy. Koji is reluctant to do the same, but it's obvious that this mountain retreat has been abandoned for a long time. Just like the house in Tokyo, there's no point in being considerate now. He goes to search a different room. This is really freaky looking, man. I don't even know if I want to sleep at this at night. This is creepy. Soon after entering the cabin, however, he realises that their search is meaningless. There's nothing inside but the bare necessities of life. Some rooms are even completely empty, save for a thick layer of dust on the floor. Of what few pieces of furniture are present, more than half appear to have been never used. There's an empty chest of drawers without a single scratch or handprint, but bearing the telltale signs of mould and moisture damage. The condition of the cabin is eerie, though in a different way than the filthiness of the house in the city. It's like someone put together a mock-up of a home and then left it to decay. The only signs that anyone lived here are found in the toilet, the bath, the kitchen and the bedroom. It appears the cabin was never used for anything but eating and sleeping. So I feel like my theory is maybe like, I don't know if maybe Saya was originally a girl and I'm thinking that Ogai done an experiment on her that turned her into like a monster. That's the only thing that I'm coming to is like a theory so far. But I could be completely wrong because there's a lot of things I thought and it's been like wrong. Beneath the darkened sky, the snow itself seems to glow with a cold white light. The scene is like something out of a fairy tale, but to Koji it serves only as an unpleasant reminder that he stepped outside the reality that he knows. Next to the front porch is a plain wooden door half buried into the ground. It's locked, of course, but Koji sees no reason for restraint after what Fuminori done to the front door. The door offers surprisingly little resistance to Koji's heavy kick, breaking open to reveal a set of concrete stairs leading down into a pitch black basement. I wonder what's down here. Are we going to find out more messed up things down here? I'm not sure, but let's need to see. Koji would prefer to leave such a forbidding place to Fuminori, but it's not like he can just ask him to take his place. He descends into the chilly darkness, the beam of his flashlight leading the way. Oh no, this footsteps it's just so ominous, I swear to God. There turns out to be nothing in the basement but a storage room and a boiler. Exactly what one would expect to find in an isolated mountain cabin. The few packages of preserved food sitting on the shelves have long since passed their expiration dates, and the boiler doesn't appear to have been used in years. Koji guesses that Ogai's mountain home have been abandoned longer than the house in Tokyo. Was Fuminori simply mistaken when he said that Ogai might be here, or was he lying from the beginning? Not sure what to do next, Koji goes back up to the stairs and walks around the outside of the cabin, and there he finds the backyard. Yeah, I feel like Koji is really suspicious of this, to be honest now. Like, he's thinking maybe Fuminori set something up. This is in really bad condition, isn't it? It is in much worse condition in the front yard. Having been mostly reclaimed by the forest, it must have been neglected even when the cabin was still in use. The remnants of the woodshed lie in this yard. The mushrooms growing on its own is speaking to how much time has passed since its collapse. Next to the rotten logs, however, stands a circle of stone that has not yet succumbed to the elements. A well? They're not going to go down the well, are they? I don't think so, but it'd be kind of horrible if they did. The well has no bucket or pulley, and when Koji peers carefully into it, he sees that the water's no longer flowing. It's probably less than 10 metres deep, depending on how much mud is piled up inside. Koji's search of the cabin has revealed nothing of interest inside or out. Leaning against the edge of the well, Koji wonders why Ogai bought this remote home deep in the mountains and what he was doing here. As far as Koji can tell, there's no sign that more than one person ever stayed here. What was Ogai trying to hide is the question. Fuminori's words play back in Koji's head. Could this have been some sort of secret refuge? A place to remain hidden from the world? That would explain why there's nothing to suggest that whoever lived here did anything more than eat and sleep. Koji suddenly remembers the doctor he met yesterday at the Tea University. Maybe she'd know something. He takes out his phone and calls up the number. There's barely a signal, but manages to get through. So I don't think he can get his hold of her, I don't think. Koji's hopes are soon dashed, however, when his call goes straight to Dr. Tambo's voicemail. He considers calling back later, but realises that it would be hard to talk to her with Fuminori around. Fuminori would not at all be pleased to learn that Koji and Yo went to see his doctor. Koji decides that he'd better tell the doctor what he can while he's still alone. Koji leaves a clear and concise message explaining that he went with Fuminori to Ogai's mountain retreat, giving the address and asking for confirmation that the property belongs to Ogai. After hanging up, Koji thinks back to their visit to the hospital. Is Dr. Tambo actually investigating like she said she would? I'm really doubtful. I think she knows more than everyone else, I think, here. Her reluctance to speak of Dr. Ogai is weighing on his mind. He talked to Yo about it on the way home, but they were unable to decide whenever the doctor could be really trusted. Speaking of which, how is Yo doing? Koji hasn't seen her today. He didn't say a word to her about her trip to Tojiki. She might be worried, especially so soon after Omi's disappearance. Thinking to check up on her, Koji dials Yo's number and is surprised when it rings longer than it usually does. Did she forget her phone somewhere? Just as he's about to give up, the call connects. The first thing Koji hears is a strange sound. It's not signal interference, but some sort of kind of wet, distorted sound, like the voiceless groans of perhaps sobs of someone far away. No, that's exactly what they are. The person on the other side is crying. Is this really Tsukuba's voice? It's too twisted with agony for Koji to tell. Panic surges through Koji as he realises that something is terribly wrong. After a short period of nothing but pained moans, words start coming through the speaker one by one, as though each to take an act of will. You must be delirious, because Koji can't understand the things she's saying. Her gasps and wheezes, however, are enough to tell him that she's in imaginable pain. She's not making any sense. Koji feels despair, sees his heart in an iron grip. What is happening to you now, 100 kilometers away? Only her voice gives any hint of what she's going through. There's nothing he can do for her. Yo suddenly breaks into a violent hacking cough as though she's trying to expel something filling her throat. Koji screams into the phone, his reason overwhelmed by unimaginable horror, which is why he's unable to react when the phone is suddenly knocked from his hand, and also why he didn't notice Fuminori sneaking up into him until it's too late. Fuminori seizes Koji's lower jaw with a right hand, cutting off Koji's angry shout. Koji can hardly believe the strength of a smaller man grips. No, is Fuminori going to jump him down the well? His biggest mistake was leaning back against the well. There's nothing to grab onto as Fuminori pushes him backwards over the edge. He can only feel his arms faintly against the air. I actually thought this was a plan with Fuminori and Saya. This is messed up in the head though, if Fuminori actually planned this. Koji soon loses his balance entirely. He feels a terrifying weightlessness as the world spins before his eyes. Before he can realise what has happened, his back strikes something with tremendous force. He thrashes wildly as cold, dirty water fills his mouth and freezes him to the core. Only when his fingers find the wall of the well, he's unable to regain his sense of direction and right himself. No, imagine being stuck in a well, that'd be so hellish, God. I thought Fuminori wasn't that bad, but Fuminori is messed up in the head. I feel like Fuminori's just screwed up. He really is a screwed up person, I swear to God. He'll literally do anything for Saya. On his hands and knees in the mud, Koji vomits filthy water of his lungs. He tries to shout, but it comes out as a hoarse groan distorted by the echo in a cramped space. He's actually laughing, oh my God. On the other hand, as clear as a bell. Fuminori tosses Koji's phone into the well. Koji catches it just before it hits him in the face, but finds that the battery pack has been removed, rendering it useless. There's no way, how's Koji going to get out of a well? There's no way without any phone and in a cabin like out in the woods. This is no joke. It's a miracle that Koji is uninjured. He could easily have broken his neck. And just because he's not hurt doesn't mean that he's safe. Koji feels around the inside of the well, searching for something to hold onto. But the mud-covered stone offers no purchase. It's obvious that he won't be able to get out without help. Koji starts to say it, but trails off as the pieces finally come together in his head. Today's sudden change in Fuminori's attitude, that smile that always seemed somehow malevolent. Fuminori hadn't been smiling at Koji, but at the thought of his friend's death. He can't wrap his head around the turn of events. Why would Fuminori try to kill him? True, Fuminori had wanted Koji to stay out of business, but is that really a motive for murder? Yeah, because Koji could have probably reported him to the police, so... Jesus Christ, man. Fuminori responds coldly. He sounds truly amazed that Koji would ask such a thing. Fuminori disappears from view, leaving Koji alone in the darkness with nothing to connect him to the outside world.
Oi! Fuminori!
Koji shouts at the top of his lungs, known beyond a doubt that if Fuminori leaves, all hope of rescue will vanish with him. No one will ever hear him calling for help from the bottom of a mountain well.
Tsukuba ga taihen nanda! Oi, Fuminori! Kiite kure! Koko kara dashite kure!
In his desperation, Koji no longer comprehends the futility of begging for mercy. No god or devil will answer him. His only hope is that Fuminori will have a change of heart. Praying for a miracle, he keeps calling Fuminori's name. Eventually, the sky grows as dark as the bottom of the well. Koji can no longer make out the edge of the opening. He has long since lost track of how many hours he's been screaming. Nevertheless, he continues to scream, where he knows that the silence brings him will kill him. Oh my, I feel like Fuminori is just so horrible person, man. I swear to God. Like, there's no way that Koji's going to survive under that well himself. Like, there's no way he can get out. I feel great. The same feeling that you get when the last piece of difficult puzzle solves smooth it into place. Seriously, I have killed a man and no one will ever know. It is a long way back to civilization, but neither the cold nor the exhaustion can ruin my good mood as I walk alone down the snow-covered mountain road. I was tempted to use Koji's car, but that would have introduced a flaw into the plan. I don't want anyone to connect me to his disappearance. The plan formed in my mind at the moment that I realised how remote the location was. Even if I couldn't find anything to lead me to Dr. Ogai, his absence would at least prove that the cabin had been utterly abandoned, in which case it would be the perfect spot to take care of a problem. I knew coming all the way out to Tokochigi wouldn't be a waste of time. I didn't even need to use the meat cleaver hidden so he had a meat cleaver as well. A dry well, it's like fate itself provided me with a perfect setting. That idiot didn't even realise the danger he was in, and his phone call distracted him enough for me to take him by surprise. Now one of the two people whose questions might have caused trouble for me and Saya vanished from the earth. All that's left is to eliminate the others. Tsukuba Yo, I mustn't underestimate her just because she's less aggressive than Koji. Even she should be able to see a connection between the disappearances of her two friends. This is Fuminori just going to go on a murder spree for everyone he knows that might potentially bat him out. That's kind of horrible. I suppose I should be thankful that it was Yo to whom Koji was talking on the phone. If he'd reported our location to a third party, I'd have to track down and eliminate that person too. I'm a little worried about what they were discussing, but judging by how Koji was screaming into the phone, they probably weren't exchanging detailed information. Either way, I better get rid of Yo as soon as possible. After walking all night long, I finally reached the Natsu Flats station just as the trains start running. It only takes an hour to get back to Tokyo in a limited express. It's not enough time to rest, but I'm too wound up for that to matter. Besides, I don't want to waste any time thinking up a way to kill Yo. Using the cabin again would be too dangerous, and I'm not sure how I would get her out there in the first place. I feel like there must be some sort of police case in this. There will be though. They'll get kinda suspicious, I feel. I just exploded on her face the other day. I doubt that she'll be as quick as to trust me as Koji was, which means that it will be difficult to get her alone. I could ask Saya for her opinion, but even I have some pride. I want to show her that I'm a man who can take care of business. Unfortunately, I'm unable to come up with anything before I get home. I suppose that I should just be proud of having dealt with Koji, the immediate threat. The search of Dr. Ogai's cabin was a bust, with no trace of him having been there. But I see no reason to be frustrated. Saya isn't all that concerned about the doctor's whereabouts, so looking for him is just something to satisfy my own curiosity.
Tadaima.
It's morning, half a day later than I normally get home, and the sound of Saya running down the stairs tells me just how impatient she was for my return. It makes me feel warm inside. She throws her arms around my neck, her smile at least 20% brighter than usual. Or did she kill Yo? She must have. Saya responds to my confusion with a mischievous smile. What's this a surprise? I better not be saying Yo messed up. This is horrible. I don't realise how hungry I am until Saya mentions that. I walked all night without a bite to eat, and now my stomach's emptiness becomes painfully clear. However, I can't sit down to a leisurely meal while covered in the dirt and sweat of the road.
そう言うと思って沸かしてあるよ、お風呂。一晩中外にいたんだもんね。
ああ、そりゃもう。
I'm amazed by Saya's foresight. She's always ready to give me what I want before I want it.
大変だったんだ。
So there's actually a bath in Saya as well. It's just so bloody weird, man. While soaking in the bath together, I tell Saya about my adventure. The heat of the bath is soothing, as it is the sensation of Saya leaning back against my chest. As she massages the fatigue out of my stiff leg muscles, I'm home, contentment fills me, and I don't even need to sleep to relieve my exhaustion. Just like the living room and the bedroom, the bathroom is painted in the colours that Saya and I find pleasing. We've left the entrance and hallway untouched just in case someone should see inside. So these 3 rooms are the only places I can relax in my own home.
山の寒さは尋常じゃないね。薄着で行ったのはつくづく失敗だった。夜中あたりは投資するんじゃないかってヒヤヒヤしたよ。
そのコウジって人の服も取り上げて重ね着してくればよかったのに。
おいおい、コウジは井戸に落としたんだってば。着てた服も井戸の底だよ。
ああ、そっか。
Saya laughs and sticks her tongue out bashfully.
で、あと心配なのがつくばよって女の人。
コウジが消えたのと僕のことを結びつけて考えそうなのはそいつ一人だけだからね。彼女の始末が終わったらやっと安心できるんだが。
Sai glances at me over her shoulder like she knows something that I
その
don't.
人の殺し方、もうFuminoriは考えてあるの？
それがまだなんだ。いろいろと考えたんだけどね。だからサヤの知恵も借りようかと思ってさ。
任せといて。
She says, grinning with unusual
サヤはね、
confidence.
Fuminoriが想像もつかないような方法を知ってるよ。もう解決したも同然なんだから。
そうか。
さてと、もういい加減仕上がってる頃だし。
She rises from the bath.
見てほしいものがあるんだ。
I don't know if I want to see this. I really don't know if I want to see this. I feel like it's just going to be really messed up. But I think we'll end the episode here, and we'll see what the surprise that Saya is going to show us. So I'll see you in the next episode of Saya no Uta. Bye!